Hi everybody, my name is Amy and welcome back to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch, mostly. Forgive the hair, but it's also about crafting, and I do pretty much everything. I sew, I crochet, I cross stitch, I make fabric ornaments, and I do a variety of things because I just like to. I'd rather spend $100 on crafting things than spend $10 buying the item prepaid, because that's what makes sense. So I thought this would be a fun video to do, to kind of revisit some of my stash. So the stuff that's in these bins are projects that I never get my hands on. Most of the stuff on this side, so this is where the cubby starts. I have a 9 cubby thing and a 6 cubby thing here. Some of these are just like, this is empty. This is partially gifts and stamped kits, and then like tools, fabric stuff, right? So a lot of this stuff is started already. Some of the lower bins that you can't see in the frame down here, these are Ariana Grande puffball kit patterns that are partially kitted or fully kitted and just haven't started yet, because I have many of full coverage in here. I've been really itching to start a new project, but I have also really been loving working on tarot from the Witchy Stitcher. I also have a Star Wars piece in the living room, which I think was my last Flosstube. I showed you guys that one. That I've also been loving working on, and I don't want to put it away. But I also really have a linen and threads project in there, the Talavera one, that I also want to start. And I bought all of the floss for it. So I wanted to say that I was running out of room on this, but I'm really not, because I have a whole empty shelf right here. So I think I'll put that here, but I have other projects on another shelf over there. These are, I'll post a picture here of the linen and threads one. This is the floss that I got for it with the idea that I had in mind. This is the project. This is the color scheme that I had in mind. However, I was watching a video, I was watching The Perfect Couple on Netflix, which is a show with Nicole Kidman and Liv Schreiber and a bunch of other actors, and she had on this gorgeous white dress with this blue color scheme on it that was just stunning. I'll show it somewhere so you can see, because I took a screenshot of it, because like that's also perfect, because this is the color scheme that I was going for. But the Talavera that I was looking at also had some greenery and some flowers, so I don't know, I might just dial back to this. We'll see. But anyway, this video is going to be about the projects that I hope to start before I die and finish one day. I'm 37 years old. I have 3 kids that still live with me. My son is kind of back and forth. He moved away for about 7 or 8 months, and then he's moving back. He's been living back with me for the past few months, and he's considering moving out again. That's what you do as parents, especially when they're young like that. My kids are 19, 13, and 11. So they're not small anymore. I have tons of time on my hands. I work full-time as a 2nd grade teacher. And, you know, during the school week, right now I'm on summer vacation, which is halfway over. I have about 2.5 weeks left of that. I don't have a lot of time. I try to take 30 minutes to do one of my projects, which I have many. I also drive a Jeep Wrangler, and I love Jeeping with the Jeeple. And I also ride Harley Davidson. And so fitting all of that in can be incredibly difficult when you are, I don't want to say eclectic like me, but I have a wide variety of interests. Oh, and I also diamond paint. I have all my diamond, a lot of my diamond paintings stored underneath my bed. You guys are sitting on my bed. So it's difficult when you have more than one hobby. A bunch of you on here are just like me, and you have a ton of hobbies as well. But anyway, so let's revisit this. So I'd love to do all of these before I die, right? Starting with this bin here, that one. Most of these bags I made myself. I would love to make these and sell them. So if that's something that you guys might be interested in, let me know. I'm very curious. I've spent a lot of time, I don't want to say perfecting because nothing's perfect. I don't consider myself a perfectionist at making the bags. I've just made them over and over and over and over, and I feel like they come out better and better every time. And it's something that I would be interested in doing is making them for you guys. So this is a space bag I made myself because I love space. This is one of the glittery ones from Walmart. And the inside is just the navy fabric. And all of my bags I stitch with this rainbow. You can probably see it a little bit better on here. This rainbow thread. The lighting here's not great. That's why it looks like there's no stitching here because it is a rainbow thread. I don't even know what's in here. We're going to find out together. Lily. Is it just called Lily? Easter Lily Fairy. You'll see most of my 99 probably % of my full coverages are Heaven and Earth design. So I think I have a video of me flipping through my full coverages. I'm pretty sure. If I don't, then maybe I'll consider making one. But I just love Heaven and Earth designs. I thought this would be a fun one. I kind of wish there was no background on this. Maybe I will consider doing that and doing just her. Because I started this and then I want to say I restarted it. I can't remember, but I would consider restarting it, and it would be fairly easy, especially here. Because everything has a black outline. The hard part would be the what are these? The wings. Sorry. In that, but I mean, it's just a gorgeous pattern. This one's by Hannah Lynn. I absolutely love her work. So she's fully kitted. Let's see what we got in the way of fabric. I did start her. So I have this on a piece of 28 count Lugana. So most of my stuff's on 28 count Lugana because I could get it from Hoblob, the Hobby Lobby when I used to shop there. The craft store who must not be named. This one actually though says this is 25 count Lugana. So I must have got this, you can't see that, on D-Stash somewhere. So this was a piece of 18 by 18, and so it's going to fit on here, and I literally have only the top corner. I am stitching this 2/1. No. I'm stitching this 1/1. And that's why I stopped stitching it, because I freaking hated it. I hated stitching 1/1. Also, I started cross-stitching in very, very late 2018. Took on a variety of projects and realized that I needed more practice before I continued stitching full coverage, because my tension was very uneven. My plane, like my, you know, when your stitches are on there, they weren't even, and it wasn't flush and flat, and it was really irritating me. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to stop. And we're going to do a whole bunch of other stuff. And when I feel comfortable coming back to full coverage, we will, we'll start again. So I feel like I'm kind of ready there, ready to do that now. I've been stitching a whole bunch of other things you guys have seen. I feel very comfortable with the tension in my stitching, working with DMC and CXC and how they're coming out, especially on the projects that I'm currently working on. I feel like they look very nice. In my opinion, I'm not entering these in any contests. I know I make mistakes. I don't strive for perfection. I strive with what I'm comfortable with, and that's it. And so, yeah, well, I'll get there. Is it too dark in here? It's like literally the only light I have in here. This project I have not started. This, I have no idea what this fabric is. It's either a 28 or a 25 count. I probably have it. Okay, yeah. This is a piece of DMC 28 count Lugana, and this is the Monaco one. So it's not as soft, it's a little bit more stiff, but that's okay. I bought this because DMC was having a sale one day. It was like buy one get one free or something. So I went ahead and bought that because 28 count is my favorite way to do this, and I usually do 2/1/10, which is probably what I'm going to do. This is a David Tennant portrait that somebody made by Marjam Raff on Etsy and Facebook. She created this pattern and stitched it up and did not sell the pattern until it was fully stitched and she was comfortable with the design, and then she sold it to everybody, and I have this bad boy fully stitched and ready to go. It's just waiting for me to get my hands on it. I have this set to be 25 by 35 fabric. It's going to cover 13 by 18 fabric. I don't know why I have 25 by 35. I don't know what that means. I don't know. It's going to cover a 13 by 18 piece, and my fabric's plenty big for that. So there he is. David Tennant is my favorite doctor of all time. I hate to say that Matt Smith just wasn't my favorite. I actually really enjoyed Matt Smith. I got used to him. And then when I started seeing him in other movies, I was like, oh, I think I kind of like him now. And then I didn't like him as other characters. And I only liked him in Doctor Who. And it was just this weird, like, love-hate relationship with Matt Smith. I don't know. I did not make this bag. This one, I believe I don't know if I won it or got it free, because this is not a style that I would normally choose. The vinyl, I particularly don't like the vinyl covers, because it doesn't matter which direction you do it. If you stand it up this way or you stand it up this way, the seam, because it's stitched, right, these bend backwards like this. So when it's sitting on the shelf, this edge constantly is bent. And it doesn't bother me, really. See how this one's straight still, because this is the part that's up top, but it's just not, I just don't particularly care for it. And so I don't really need the cover like that. Anyway, here's another bag that I made. This is a Star Wars one. This one I made a little bit smaller because I was testing the sizes out, because I felt like the bags were just too big. This was definitely one of my first bags because I messed up the edge of the zipper. It's totally fine. Closes enough for me. Like I said, I kept all of the bags. See how it like doesn't, I don't know what I did. Close right. I feel like I'm talking really fast. Am I talking really fast? Spent enough time doing them the way that I did them so that I could get the design right. You'll see like the different heights. So like this bag is shorter than this bag because I used different measurements for both. I kind of like the smaller bag versus the bigger bag. I feel like I'm going to turn this way a little bit because the lighting is slightly better that way. But yeah, so let's continue. The inside is just this fabric. This, I'm guessing, came from Walmart. It was fabric that my aunt gave me. Doesn't even look like I have a picture in here. Oh yeah, I do. Oh, this is giraffe something. Not even going to pretend to pronounce that. Another Haid right here. This is going to be another big one. This is one that I started and then stopped because I was frustrated with it because the center isn't really on here. So the center is like somewhere in between here in the white part. So then I had to count over. And then the part that I was starting with, the stitches were so lightly colored that it was really hard for me to just get to it. My heart just wasn't in it. I bought this because my mom absolutely loves giraffes and I'd love to stitch this for her one day. And then because it's not, there's no background, I feel like it's going to be more doable. So this is, again, 28 count white Lugana, a big, I don't know, I think I ordered a yard and then I just cut what I cut off. So looks like I tried starting in the, I don't know if I started in the corner or at the bottom. There's some stitches right there, like some tan stitches. Had started in the middle but took those out because they're not on here, and I just have this ginormous piece of fabric that I don't think is going to be this big. So I'll have to remeasure it and start this again because I would really like to give this to my mother one day. And again, I have this all kitted up. So I also make all of my floss tags. I've gone through many styles of floss tag. Now I'll show you guys my current way of doing the floss tags. And then I have more here, but I think this is all the doubles if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. So here, usually what I would do too is I would go through just the first page and I would only set up all of the floss on the first page because, you know, when you do a HAID, it takes you some time to get through it. So everything that I would need on the first page. So that's fully kitted, just haven't started yet. Before I get too far, let me get you guys my current floss setups I can show you. So I tried a whole bunch of things, and they all would get torn. So I did cardstock. I tried the cardstock craft paper. I tried photo paper. I tried finding different thicknesses of cardstock, all sorts of things. I didn't want to buy plastic bobbins. I don't like the plastic bobbins. I tried buying like the plastic floss tags. I got a couple from Fat Quarter Shop that were gifted to me from Amy Sprinklestein, which she's now called, I can't remember what she's called. But if you type in Sprinklestein, she still comes up, and she does videos with somebody else on her YouTube channel now. Love her. Anyway, tried many things. I don't know where I saw this from, but also floss tags, they're always so freaking big, and I hate that, especially like the plastic ones that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. They were so, I might have them in here, ginormous. Love them, but they were still too big for my liking. And no, I don't have them in here. They were still just way too big for my liking. And then like the normal ones that you would get from like when it's already on, like this is a Victorian motto, it's just regular cardstock. So then I would punch another hole and I was just keeping it on here. But these tear, plus there's so much space on here that I didn't need, right? Color and Cotton, same thing. These are some of the Harry Potter ones. Classic Colorworks, same thing. This is just so big for me and my taste. The Weeks Dye Works ones are too big. So I would make, these were some of the first ones. This is just like scrapbook paper. This is just regular cardstock. I tried this style. I kind of like the round style, but not in the cardstock. I could go back to the round style doing what I do now. You know, I have a couple of little ones like this, but these are more just not for what I was wanting to do. So I got this idea. I was at Goodwill and I found a whole bunch of plain cards, and I found a smaller punch tag. So this is a Color and Cotton card, and here is the card that I use. It's about half the size, right? Almost the same width, but about half the length. And hole punch the top so that I can put them on my floss ring, and then use a bigger one on the bottom so that I could put one or more pieces on here. I've considered doing a smaller hole here so that I could add a second hole for single floss. It's not necessarily a priority for me. This is the floss I'm currently using for tarot. And so, yeah, that's what I do with that. So back to my projects. Now that we're 20 minutes in and I've only showed you a couple of things. Again, another bag that I made myself. Skulls, sugar skulls. And this one's just blue on the inside. Again, with the rainbow stitching. Another Hannah Lynn. This one's Janessa. This one, Janessa. I had the entire middle of her done. I had her whole shoulder and her arm done right here. I had all this black from the wings about halfway down, and I was starting the black outline on her hair, and I messed up somewhere, and I kept stitching and I kept stitching, and I was like, something is not right. I don't know if I missed a whole row or a whole column or a whole section altogether. Nothing matched, nothing lined up, but yet it looked normal, and I could not fucking figure it out for the life of me. I tried going back and counting, taking some out, couldn't figure it out for the life of me, so I just scrapped the whole thing and decided to start over. I found this piece of something or another. I restarted her. I used to write the dates on here. Now I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit. When I started it, I just know that I worked on that for several years. This I started in May of 2022. Probably haven't worked on it since. So this was 3 years ago. That's sad. I'm doing this 1/1. Yeah, 1/1. So your floss goes a really long way. And also these flosses are cut way too long for that. I will need to take all of these long ones and probably flip them in half to cover these stitches because it's so long. 1/1 is also a little bit harder to start because you either have to start it with a knot or you have to run the tail through, which at this point I have enough in. I could probably run the tail through with the background that's on there. So that's all that I have. Probably like 0.01% on this. And then I started in the top corner because with Heaven and Earth, I just need to start in the top corner. Again, the cardstock tags that I now dislike, I just need to start in the top corner. So there she is. I love that I wrote the date on that one that way. I just wrote it with permanent marker on the top corner of the fabric. I really should do that, honestly. I mean, I could always look back through my fabric. So that was actually 25 count. Lugana of some sort. Because I could always look back through my YouTube videos and kind of see when I started things. But that would still take some time. This is a Gold Collection Dimensions kit. I'm not a real big fan of the Dimensions kits because I don't like the way the floss comes, or kits in general, especially store-bought kits. They're just not up my alley. So I started her. I absolutely love her. This one and the Fall Fairy is another one that I want and don't have. And then that's pretty much it. There haven't been any Dimensions kits that I like that much. So started her. Oh, I did not. Oh, I do have it. Where is she? Did I not? I could have sworn that I started this bitch. Am I missing something here? Let me look at this tree pattern here. No. Okay, something's amiss here. Maybe I do have the second kit. Guess I didn't start her. So anyway, Dimensions, I just don't like this. They come like this. I don't know how to pull the threads off. My understanding is you're supposed to just be able to like pull one of them out through here. It just seems so silly to me. Not a fan. Okay. And a lot of other store-bought kits, if you guys haven't bought any store-bought kits, their floss isn't even labeled. Like, you don't know what color's what. I bought a cat kit one time and thought it was going to be fun because I wanted to get, it was going to be full coverage, so I wanted to get like the idea of full coverage down so that I could, before I started on Heaven and Earth. It was so upsetting. Then so I started it, had the colors wrong. It was frustrating. Another Dimensions kit. I don't know how I ended up with this. I just did. I can't even remember. I have a vague idea of buying it, but I can't remember. Like a vague memory, not an idea. Partially because it reminds me a little bit of New Mexico with the balloons. This, not so much. This kind of reminds me of Colorado, and then the balloons kind of New Mexico. Maybe that's why I bought it. It has this off-white Ada in here. It doesn't say what count. Oh, 18 count Ada. It looks like that. It's not even open. I'll still stitch it. This one. Oh, here she is. I thought this was something different. That's why. These are the two. So these are my two favorite Dimension images. Absolutely love these. My understanding is they used to be on Heaven and Earth, and then they went over to Dimensions or vice versa. I don't freaking know. Somebody Sanderson. I can't remember. Ruth Sanderson. I don't know. I don't know if she retired off of Heaven and Earth or if she's just not on there or something of the sort. This is the one that I started. It's on the same color Ada. 16 count dove gray Ada. There are some beads, and I just started stitching her in hand. I don't know what it is though. Dimensions, I believe, has their own floss. It's not DMC. I have the hiccups. Yeah, it just says pre-sorted cotton thread. I don't think it's DMC because their floss has this sheen to it. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it stitches so nice. And like, maybe it's just these kits that I got, but it stitches very smooth, like much smoother than, in my opinion, typical Ada. I mean, than typical floss. I can't get this much in. Gumball. My cat is like meowing all kinds. So there's those. This, I think Amy got this for me, Sprinklestein. It's a Garantotten bag. And it's books. And the inside is like script. Like old-fashioned script. It's freaking gorgeous. I love it, but not my style of bag. I don't care for the size of it. And the limited space. It doesn't open very big, and it doesn't stretch on the sides like I would like, especially for like, there's no way a Haid would fit in here. This would definitely be for a smaller kit, but then it's also too big. Like, I have all this extra space at the top, but I just can't get over the fabric of it. So there's that, and then I have to bend it down to fit inside of here too. So there's that. And then I have a stamped kit in here that is more balloons. You can see that. Did not come with a bigger picture, but I am going to take these scissors out because my kids keep taking my scissors and they get lost. Well, there is a bigger picture in here, but it's all dippity-doo. This is what I have. So I've got a good chunk of the bottom and some random piece here and here and here. I don't know what I was thinking. I kind of just like to skip around when I do these things. I was getting worried because honestly, aside from the balloon and this river, I don't know what this is. And so was getting a little bit worried about the image, and I was just trying to trust the process. See, this isn't even in a bag. I have a lot of bags cut over there that I need to, did they just make a whole bunch of bags? No, they're all cut over there waiting to be sewn, and I haven't done them yet. So I'm going to try to go faster through these because we're using up a lot of time. So this is when I thought I could make book sleeves. Didn't really like it. This is a pretty big one. And then I had seen that Michelle Bandy was using the book sleeves as cross stitch holders. So I was like, duh. I don't know. I just don't care for it. I didn't like it. I bought the foamy stuff. Just not my thing. Book sleeves, also not my thing. This is Emily's House by Lindy Stitches, and it's freaking gorgeous. So I bought enough to of this green to stitch the green all the way across and not put the animals in. I will keep the flowers in. I'm not going to do the words at the bottom. I'm just going to stop the pattern at the grass and reroute the flowers this way. So I'll put the grass in, and then I will just extend as much as I need to extend here to turn that flower around and go, well, actually, no, it will be here and it'll go around that way, and then I'll just extend the grass down, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. So I'm stitching this on, it has to be Be Stitch Me's Mummy. This is a piece of Ada. If you're an OG, you know that I stitch almost everything. Probably 80% of my stash is Be Stitch Me, unless it's a full coverage and it's on Lugana, like a piece of white Lugana or something. Everything else is Be Stitch Me. This is what I've gotten on here. So I really just need to put this in a Q-snap and get to work on it. Absolutely love it. My favorite floss to stitch with is this. I think it's Bejeweled, if I'm not mistaken. I also put some Bejeweled in a mermaid piece that I finished long time ago, a couple of years ago, from what's that company called? I can't find the shade right now. The Husband and the Wife, Autumn Lane Stitchery. But, you know, hand dyed, it comes different. So you see how bright it is? I was really expecting that, and when I got mine, it was not that bright. It's pretty dark. Like, my lighting in here is atrocious, but you can see the difference in the color. But, you know, that's what happens when it's hand dyed. And then there's also this stuff in here, which actually, it's kind of a bitch to work with. Again, this is when I started a lot of these when I was still learning. So you can see that my tension's very uneven. This, you only have to work 1/1, if I'm not mistaken, because it's pretty thick. And so I think once I figure that out, like, that's part of the tension issues, because it's a lot thicker than regular floss. This is from Sulky, and it's the color Silver Slate. Yeah, 4027. Silver Slate is what it's called. Is it on here and I'm just blind? No, it's not. Anyway, that's the moon. And gorgeous. The hand-dyed floss is just amazing. The checkered roof just is a gorgeous pattern. Again, most cross-stitchers know the feeling. Okay. So then I took the idea of Garin Totten Bag and was like, I like it, but I want mine smaller to fit in my cubbies. And I made one that fit in my cubbies. Not my style. Again, not my style. I didn't even put a closure on it because it really doesn't need it. It kind of stays closed on its own. And I just put this on the inside. This is, oh, I bought the letter L and a letter E from Letters from Nora. Messed up on her. And decided I was just going to continue anyway. I made the L 1 row too thin, but I think it's going to work just fine. And this is where I'm at on that. Honestly, this stitches up so fast, and it's going to be gorgeous when it's done. I don't even think it's going to take me that long. So I have the L and I have the E because of my daughter's names, and I wanted to find something for my son, but I couldn't find anything manly enough. I will one day. Where's the fabric tag? This must be, this has to be a Bee Stitch Me. I don't know what color this is, but it feels like a Bee Stitch Me. It's like, you can see the modeling. It's like a pinkish, brown tanny color. This might even be, she had one called like Piggy or Muddy Pig or something like that. Yeah, I don't, it's so weird that the tag's not in here. But anyway, I have all the beads, the nasty stuff, whatever this shit's called. Krynic. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Might not even use the Krynic, actually. Ooh, I don't know. This one calls for lots of Krynic. I kind of like the, what's it called? Satin floss. It's more silky, and I think more up my alley than that. So, anywho's it's, why is this not fit? Okay, I'll mess with that later because it's not fitting the way that I want it to. Also have another bag that I made, just some cheap material that was on clearance. When I make bags for myself, I don't care about the orientation, so they're kind of just every which way. Oh, Gandalf. I freaking love Gandalf. This is a piece of something. No clue. The reason that I hadn't started this was because I cannot figure out how I want my stitches to go. So I did 2/110 on this one. What is my fingernail doing? My hands have been so beat the F up lately that I have to go to the dermatologist for this hand because it's just not having it. So I did 1/110 or 2/110 on there. Didn't like it. 2/2 here. If you look closely, you can see that it's starting to push the stitches down, like the thread of the material down. So if I were to continue 2/1 on there, I think the middle is going to get incredibly tight and it's not going to look right. And then here I did 1/1 and hated that too. And just couldn't decide what I was going to do. Ultimately, honestly, I think it's going to have to be 1/1 because as we start going, the stitches are going to start compressing with each other, and it's just going to have to work. I really love the look of the 2/2. 2/2 is just my favorite way to stitch, but it's starting to push the threads underneath it down, and it's not going to work. Again, you can see I used the flosses that I did, and Gandalf is my favorite Lord of the Rings character. He is just my idol. I just absolutely love everything about Gandalf. And no, I'm not saying that as I read the books well before I watched the movies. I read those books in middle school. So, yeah. Again, this is like one of the very first bags I made. It's hideous. This is just an awful style of bag. I put the zipper at the top, which isn't the worst, but definitely not a style of bag I would make again. This was a thing on YouTube, I think, that I did, and I just didn't like it. I don't know what's in here. Whatever it is, it's stitched on one of the fabric of the months from Bestitch Me. This one's called Nova that I purchased. Oh, this is Wizard's View by Joan Elliott. I have that much. And I tried to pick a piece of fabric that was similar to what she had in the photo, if I'm not mistaken. And I started at the bottom corner. This is what I have. This calls for Kreinik. Oh God, I cannot stand this stuff. So I thought that I would use something else. Still hated it. I bought, again, when I was shopping at Hoblob, the Artiste Metallic Floss. Hated that even more. But I was still pushing through. I'm going to have to finish it because I'm not going to take all these stitches out. So, there's that. I absolutely love Joan Elliott's patterns. A lot of them aren't my cup of tea, but most of them are. I just love them. This is a stamped piece. Back when I was ordering those from May Dear, I think it was just some incredibly dumb sale, or they sent them to me for free. I can't remember. I can't keep them all straight because I got so many stamped kits for free when I was consistently making videos here on the channel. Gumball, he's got the zoomies. He's running around like crazy. And also, guys, my camera is sideways. My lens is here, and I'm looking at myself here. So that's that. Oh, it's starting to be 9. So this is where I left off on there. I have a little bit done up here because I got tired of doing the blue on the bottom. I don't have much done. A little bit here. That's it. A little bit of white, probably one strand of white over there. It's fun. I love doing stamped pieces. However, I usually end up doing my stamped kits in hand, and they just don't look good. Stamped kits, you really need to put them in a frame and stretch the Aida as much as possible. And the stitches look so nice on the Aida. This is 14 count, so you need 2 strands to do that. This one is, I believe this one's called Electra. Yes, Electra from Nora Corbett. Nora Corbett, I'm not big into the fancy ladies, but what are they called? The Bewitching Pixies? Yeah, Bewitching Pixies I want to make all of them. I started this on a different piece of fabric. It was like a green color. I don't know why I stopped and I didn't like it, so I decided to restart it on a piece of Autumn by Bestitch Me. All this cotton's making me itch. I probably got this Friday Night Fight Night. This is 32 count Lugana, and I don't think I actually started it yet. No. So she'll be going on this gorgeous piece of fabric when I do restart her. She's fully kitted. Again, she was a restart, so I didn't all DMC here. I do have her beads in here as well. So whenever you guys know how that is, whenever I get to it. And I also, again, another book sleeve that I made, a smaller one this time. Don't like it. It's so hard to put things in. I have to like get my whole hand in there, push it down like this, and it's just, I'm not for it. I'm still using it because I'm not wasteful. I might actually just, when I'm done with all those bags, I have a lot of projects that don't have bags. Might even just switch these out because they're not my cup of tea. Again, the same exact thing. Had a lot of the space. This one's, I believe this one's called Gwen. Another Bewitching Pixie. And then this one's not started. I picked out a piece of Lugana, also 32 count Lugana from Bestitch Me, with no name because Friday Night Fight Night usually didn't have names. She runs it. I don't know. I don't keep up as much with it now because I'm not heavily cross stitching like I was, because I used to be a stay-at-home mom, so I had plenty of time to do this stuff. Now I work full time, and so I'm not purchasing as much as I would have been back then when I first started cross stitching. So this, you can't see a lot of the modeling on camera, but it's got a lot of, I want to say yellow. It's like a yellowy greenish color. I want to say swampy, but that sounds ugly because this is not an ugly piece of fabric. So that's what I have picked out for Gwen. I'm pretty sure. Why are you not going in? Oh, it's because the staple is stuck on something. I'm trying to do this where I don't have to edit as much out. Gwen. Okay, so this one slides right in because I have it in a bag. Just shoot. Right. I have a stamped piece here. I don't know why I got this. It's a Joy Sunday. It's a Taurus little girl sitting on top of the bull. And again, I don't know why I got this. The reason why I haven't gotten rid of it is because I have it like a third of the way done. All the brown and orange that you see at the bottom, that's it. It's super small. It doesn't, I don't even know. It doesn't say 14 count 2 strands. It's a 26 by 29 centimeters. So it's pretty small. Just again, something that I haven't done. Clearance fabric. Again, I didn't care about orientation. Oh, this one. I did start this because I thought my girls were obsessed with space when they were little, just like I was. They're much bigger now, and because I never finished it, they don't really want it. But because I still like outer space and I work in a classroom, if I finish this, this will go hung in my classroom. This is stitched on a piece of 32 count Lugana in the color Cosmos. It's absolutely perfect. It's freaking beautiful piece of fabric. I just cannot get over how gorgeous this is. And I'm pretty sure it goes this way. I might be wrong, but I think it goes this way. I could be totally wrong. That's all I have done. I don't have like hardly anything done. Just this one little guy. Started in the center. I was having like some issues with the pattern. So this is where I'm at. Yeah. Oh no, I had it upside down. That's okay. I was having some issues with the pattern because it doesn't line up. And she made a comment about how you needed to stitch it on digital or something. And I was like, I don't stitch digital. Like, I don't want it on digital. Even with Heaven and Earth, I really struggle with the digital PDFs using Pattern Keeper. I prefer a paper copy. And I don't know. So you can see this one's stitched on more of like a purpley background. I'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, the physical pattern, it's weird. The bottom doesn't line up right. And I tried talking to her. This is from Aster. This is called Aster's Amazing Adventure Cell from Fuzzy Fox Designs. And I just did not have a great experience with that conversation with her about the pattern. It was like, you know, everybody's allowed to make their patterns the way that they want. You know, it is what it is. Again, another bag that I made myself. You can see quality of this one. damn near perfection, because you just get better and better the more you practice things. And I love the green zipper. I feel like I try to choose a contrasting zipper. This was a gift from Amy Garandula, again, Sprinklestein. Joan Elliott, because she knows that I love Joan Elliott. I have not started her yet. I picked out, oh, this is Dirty Piggy. So that other color is not Dirty Piggy. This is Dirty Piggy from Bestitch Me. This is actually linen. I think I just ended up getting this. I don't know if this was a fabric of the month or what it was. This was all wrinkly because linen's like that. But can you see the brown? I think maybe this way we might be able to see it a little bit better. Let me see if I can stretch it a little more. That's what that looks like. So that's what I had planned on putting her on, because she kind of already has a pink background. The only difference is this doesn't have any yellow in here like this does. Which, now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if I should choose a different color for her, because her background's more springy, and I don't feel like this is as springy as it should be. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose a different fabric for her, because I don't feel like the Dirty Piggy is doing her justice. So I'll put this in my pile here to do later. This is a bag that I got from the Harry Potter boxes from Black Needle Society, which last year I wasn't able to get that box because I just couldn't afford it. It wasn't in my budget. So unfortunately I don't have that year's box and had to skip it. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I don't think this year I'll get the box either, honestly. I'm not even on the waiting list anymore, so I'll have to look into that and see. This was one of the things from there. Here I have the, Tingles Halloween Flip It thing. So it's supposed to look like that. I think I had a giveaway because I had a double set of this, and I decided to put this on Opal Lugana 28 count wet sand, and I switched all the colors around. All I have is the G in the first one, and the G is not even finished. The first one is like ghouls or something like that. I'm sorry that the picture's not better. It's just so small. Like, there's not a bigger like picture of it. So I started up here in the ghouls one. I just thought it was cute for Halloween. I'm having a hard time finishing it though. I don't know why. And then another bag that I made myself, but again, I don't like the vinyl ones because the edges just kept folding in. So not my favorite style of bag. This was a Monopoly board that I purchased from Stephen Shaw. He was on Facebook as Stitch Pad UK. I believe that they took down this pattern. People were up in arms about it. This is as much as I've gotten done. And I decided to do it on this blue. And I think if I finish it and frame it, I will do a dark blue matte board around the edges to kind of tie in the game board on that. So there's that. 14 count Ada is what I'm working that on. And I love it. Just, again, not really working on it at this point. All right, again, another bag from the Harry Potter Black Needle Society thing. I don't know what else to use these bags for. They're pretty big. I feel like there's no winning with the sizes. They're either too small or too big. I guess this could be a good makeup bag. They're pretty well made. And then this one was just huge. I think my big Harry Potter is in here. Oh no, my Chatelaine is in here. So I have another Harry Potter bag. Actually, I have to have another Harry Potter bag. Yep, it's down there. Whoops. This is Medieval Town Mandala. Looks like this. And I actually did start this bad boy. So this is a Chatelaine. I bought a whole yard of Silvery Moon Lugana for her. And this is all I have, is the garden fence in the center. She goes like this because I wrote top at the top because mandalas are tricky that way. So she'll be, it's not too big. I think this is only a piece of 18 by 18 is what it says I needed. In order to stitch this, I have notes of all of the special stitches in here. And then I'm actually using a paper pattern, and I do have the digital somewhere, I hope, to do the special stitches, because paper patterns for shadowing just aren't it. I'm using the paper pattern to do all the base stitches. I hope I do, because I don't want to have to buy these again. My understanding is you have to repurchase the pattern if you lose it. They will not give you the new pattern even if you have proof that you purchased it. So there's that. I was gonna confirm the size, but anyway, I don't know where it's at on here. It's somewhere on here. And so they even like register it to you when you purchase it. I bought this in 2018. It has your name on it and your email on it and your purchase number, all that stuff. So they're pretty hardcore about it, but still, like, with that, I'm not going to comment on it. That's all I have is that. And the yarn, the floss in this is beautiful. Some of it's DMC, some of it's not. I bought the kit from European Cross Stitch. There is a bunch of DMC, but I bought the stuff from European Cross Stitch. You can get the kits already made. So it's got like water lilies and some other stuff, treasure braid, and the beads as well. So very expensive undertaking that is. Oh, again, another one of my first hideous, see how big they were? Bags. I was following a pattern from somebody on YouTube, and these were the measurements they gave, and I'm like, who the hell is stitching with bags this big? Magic Study. My mom bought me this pattern one year for my birthday, because I was so obsessed with it. And I was like, she's like, what can I get you for your birthday? And I told her, I said, I really want this pattern. Magic Study. So she goes this way. I started in the top corner. This is all that I have done, is that much. And I'm using pattern keeper for this as well. I'm using 28 count gridded Lugana on this. Yeah, it's 28 count, and I am doing 2/110 on this. There she is. Super heavy confetti right there. A little scary. There's also a puzzle of this now that you can... Ugh, my floss is all sorts of discombobulated in there. There's a puzzle of that one. Now, my understanding, if I recall correctly. I have another stamped kit here. I do believe I have a picture of this. I don't. It looks like this. So it's like outer space, and there's a little family at the bottom. So the family is 3 people with a dog. So I imagined this to be my kids and my cat. And this is all I've got, and I don't know what direction this goes. I'll have to look at the pattern again, but the fabric is so wrinkly. Looks like that. That's all I have. Literally, you can't even tell what it is. This is a piece of Twinkle, 16 count Ada. It's so cute. The top is purple and the bottom is blue. I do believe that I did it this way so that I could get the blue on one side. I don't remember. It does go a long ways though. Again, be-stitch me, because you guys know that I'm super biased about that. This was one of the free kits that I did receive. The problem with these is that they don't put their name on it. Like, they just want you to give the link out, and it'll direct people to the website. Which does work, but then like this, you have the kit years later, because these take time and you can't like find it again. Again, using that same top zipper pattern, I made this Nightmare Before Christmas one with just navy interior. Not my favorite, again, with the floss drops that I made. This is Once Upon a Fairy Tale. Also a Hade, like this. Don't know where I started on here. If I even started at all, we're about to find out. Oh, I did start it. I serged the edge. I didn't write the top on this one though, but I'm guessing I started here. in the top left corner is typically where I start. Don't have a lot done. You can still see there's some like missing stitches in there where I need to go back and fill in the blanks. I'm again 2/110 is what I'm doing. This is 28 count Lugana because that's my jam, especially for full coverage. And it also makes the piece smaller. You just need to be good lighting. Again, the top stitch bag that I made and hate, but I'm not going to waste because I'm not wasteful, with the ugly blue on the front. That's not ugly, it just doesn't match. Mini Amanda and Axel. Super cute. I don't think I started this. This is 25 count Lugana. And have not started because I couldn't figure out how I wanted to start it. So it's just this weird like dusty rose color, but it doesn't matter because it's full coverage anyway. But you can see here I was stitching. So are you gonna focus? Am I too close? Okay. 2/2, not happening. 1/1, much better. Looks a little spacey to me, but I think once we get all the stitches on there, it's going to be fine. Not my ideal way to stitch because I don't like the feel of 1/1 stitching, but it's going to have to work, right? And then another bag that I made myself. This is my preferred size. I am making some a little bit bigger to accommodate for the Hades because they're pretty bulky. But this one's super cute. It's just a bunch of cars. And the inside is handkerchief or paisley. Ooh. Leonid Aframad, Farewell to Anger. This is the mini version. Again, another Hade. I did start this one. At this point in time, I had a lot of random fabric that I wanted to get rid of. This is just a piece of, I believe this is 18 count Ada in this green color. Amy Sprinklestein had sent me a whole bunch of fabric and I really wanted to just use it. So I believe for this one, I started in the top left corner again. It's going to go this way. And that's what I have. This, honestly, I should pull out because I actually really like stitching. I'm doing 2/2. No, 2/1. Really like stitching full coverage on 18 count Ada. I don't because of the size. So if it's a mini like this, I would totally do it because it makes sense. Then I have the Addams Family Stitch Along by Just Stitching. Just Stitching Design. I don't think I have the final picture. Not quite the finished room, but there's still some missing aspects of it here. You can see there's nothing at the tree and there's nothing over here. It's missing something here and here, but you know, you get the idea. I just really enjoy these types of projects for some reason. I have several of them. I have this one. I've got a couple of the Witchy Stitcher ones. You guys saw me do Chopping Mall. I finished that. I have the Supernatural one going, the Universal Monster Cell, that one. This one's stitching on a piece of 16 count Ada that I dyed myself. What does that say? Oh, I got it from Everything Cross Stitch, but I dyed it myself for the background of the Addams Family. And I am freaking in love with it. I love dyeing fabric. I dyed it myself. Isn't that amazing? This would also be nice on the Universal Monster Cell too. Like this nighttime, eerie type of color. Look at the freaking modeling in that. Isn't that amazing? Like, I'm just obsessed with it. I honestly, if people were interested and it wasn't, I feel like it's kind of hard to kind of bust out into that kind of theme. I would totally dye fabric and sell it. It's amazing. I have a lot of fun doing it. All right, and then I have the Christmas villages. They look like this. They're from Country Cottage Needleworks. I have, I think there's 9 or 12 of them. I can't remember. I'll put the picture of all of them together right here. And then this is all I have of the first one. It's going good. I needed a sew. I finally sewed some fabric on the edge because I couldn't get it to fit in my Q-snap. This is a piece of Opal Ada from Bestitch Me. You can tell, but I just don't know what kind. I can't see the, I don't see the tag in here anywhere. So that's what that looks like. So fabric and no floss. I have this TARDIS piece. This company, Country Magic Stitch, has a whole bunch of Star Wars ones, I think. No, somebody else has a whole bunch of Star Wars ones, and I would really like to get them. This is going to be fun to stitch. Again, fabric and no floss, Barbara Anna Designs. I freaking love Barbara Anna. I will stitch everything Barbara Anna. For this one, this is called Steampunk Fox. I have a piece of 14 count Ada. Oh, again from Bestitch Me. It's just like a pale yellowy color. I really like what they have going on here. This one's just 28 count even weave. Again, when I used to shop at Top Lob. Oh, this is actually a project somewhere, the Mario map. I don't know where it's at though. Again, bag that I made. This is actually started. Oh, this is something that Amy Sprinklestein got me a while back from Shannon Christine Design. No, I don't know if she got me this or I bought it. It's a Halloween one. It's called Trick or Treat Sampler. Did start this. Ow. Oh, this is what the witch was started on. Nope, this was Ursula, and I got rid of Ursula because I hated it. This is going to be small, so it looks like that. I don't know why this is all wrinkled in here. I think this was a piece of random fabric that I got from, nope, this is Bestitch Me. 14 count Ada of no name, but it's like a Halloween-y type. Not really what I should have picked for this pattern because Shannon Christine Designs are more cutesy, and I picked a very like Halloween-y type of fabric, even though it is a Halloween pattern. What else do they have in here? Hogsmeade, again from Country Magic Stitch. Super cute. I love this. Fabric but no floss, which I have floss to put in here. I just have not. Just have some random TARDIS pattern in here with no thing. I have all of these buttons and beads from Mill Hill that I'm going to put together. There are a bunch of Halloween ones that I'd like to stitch together. I have, I don't know why this is in here, but it is. Bestitch Me. So I want to put them all on like a village. So I have Haunted Mansion, Haunted Hotel, Ghost Town, Which Way, Haunted Library, Haunted Laboratory, and Boo House. I want to put them all together and make them into one big thing. I have a bunch of like random stuff down here that I don't know what they're for. I have like some Halloween cry neck here. I have some Halloween night Mill Hill beads. And then a bunch of these that I think also go. They're Halloween buttons from Just Button Company. And I think they go to all of these, but again, I'm not really 100% sure because they're kind of all just in here. And I think these are actually quite small. Whoa. Each design is 5 by 5. This is 15 by 18, so I don't think they would fit on here. I don't know why I have that in here. Then I have her kitted up, the Native American lady on here. I think she's called Iron Maiden. I want to stitch her on this, and I have a bunch of her stuff in here. So this piece of fabric is called Hand Dyed by Rolanda. And I got this in one of the orders that I ordered. Obviously, that's that. And then I also have Minnie the Priestess from Heaven and Earth Designs kitted up. And I have Library Fairy, no background, by Heaven and Earth Designs kitted up. This one, I have a piece of, oh, I can't remember the name of this company that I will never order from again. I'm actually going to take this off. because I honestly don't really want to look at how cute this needle minder is, the clue board. I don't want to, oh shit. I don't want to stitch this anytime soon. This company, I had a terrible experience with. I did start her at the bottom and then just didn't do anything else with it. This is the fabric that I was thinking of putting her on, which now thinking about it, I might put her on something else. This company, I just had a terrible experience with. Like I remember ordering and then I never got the order, and like she kept saying like, oh, she had family problems and I never shipped it. I don't even have the tag in here. Oh, Crafty Kitten. I believe Rachel Ray was the one who recommended it, and then like, so I was like, whatever, placed an order for a couple of them, and then I only got one in the mail, and I was so furious. Her communication was just not it. She kept saying that her dog was sick, but then she was still like posting new things and not communicating at all that anything was happening, and it was just very irritating, and I never ordered from her again. I don't even know where this came from. Oh, it's got the rainbow stitching, so I'm guessing I made the stupid thing. I don't know why I would make a 9. I don't know what these are. That thing. And then I have a random... Oh, Sister Stitcher by the Primitive Hair. Looks like that. So I had intended on stitching half and sending it to Amy, and she can stitch the other half, and we could each do one. I have the, I don't even know. Oh, this is what I did the chopping mall on. So this was from Picture This Plus Shale, if I'm not mistaken. No, this is too brown to be shale. But anyway, this is Picture This Plus. Some other color. That's that. So, really love the attention. Just needed to help me remember. Then I have this Mirabilia. I think she's the Raven Queen. I need to put her in a proper bag. I was planning on stitching her on this Stonehenge Even Weave from Be Stitch Me In. This says 27 count. So I would likely do her 2 over 2. I have the bead pack for her. And out of the DMC, so she's going to be lovely. And I did make a paper pattern of her. Another bag that I made myself. Oh, I don't know about this project. So this is Mini Story Keep, or Story Creep One Enchanted Evening by Randall Spangler from Heaven and Earth Designs. I bought this from 1884 Stitchery. And it didn't come with the pattern, obviously, so I had to purchase the pattern. Came with all of the floss, and I think I'm just gonna start over. The stitching and the tension is just not well. It looks like this was probably a piece of 18 count Aida, and they did 2 over 2 and just very uneven tension. Probably because they're stitching it in hand, because they have the edges taped off like this, and I'm just not for it. And it just, I kind of don't want it, you know, my stitching is not going to look like that, so then this top half is going to be like that and the bottom is not. And then also, I don't know, I feel like it's so blurry that I don't know if I want to even do this pattern at this point. So it's just been sitting here. That's something to consider. And then I have Psychedelic Studio by Tilton Crafts, another full coverage, because this reminded me of my oldest daughter at the time. This does not remind me of her anymore. Her personality is not this. This is what her personality was. But I used to have unrealistic expectations of how long a cross stitch was going to take me to do, and I thought I could do it in a short amount of time. And I was going to stitch this and put it in her room. started at the top corner. This is all I have. Again, a piece of 28 count even weave Lagana. Looks like this. It's very colorful. I'm doing 2/110. I did start this. The freaking cotton is all over the place. On a different fabric, and it ended up not. I think I was doing an 18 count and I just wasn't happy with it, so I decided to change it and do it this way. And I haven't gotten anywhere since. And this bad boy, again, a bag I made myself with the top. Quarantine hats. Looks like this. Heaven Art Designs. This is on a piece of 28 count easy grid Lugana. And I believe it goes this way. So this is the fabric, right? This is all I've got done. Cute, but still haven't gotten anywhere. 2/110, like all of the rest. Lovely. One day, maybe, when it's done. I don't know. I loved it when it came out, and now I'm just like, eh. Which is why I'm so selective with patterns I am purchasing now. And I wish I would have been that way in the beginning, because you spend a lot of money buying this stuff. And, you know, trying to, especially now, like really deciding if it's worth it or not. You know, I shared that. I have, Michelle, sorry, my mom's name is Michelle. Mary Billy Halloween Fairy. I believe Amy gifted me this one too. This one I did start. So this is just using the linen that came in the kit. It came kitted up already. I don't even think you can buy this anymore. I don't know which direction this goes, but it goes either this way or this way. It goes a long way. That's all I have for that, which is the middle of her skirt is where I started. With just a couple strands of brown. That's all I've got. It's going to be cute, and it's a small one too. I just really haven't given it the time. So this is the Mario piece that I was telling you guys about. I started this thing about 4 times. Still, I still don't know if I'm happy with it, because I dyed a piece of 18 count Ada, and it looks like this. And I did it to this sky blue color. So when I first started it, you can't see like the modeling as good as I can in real life. So like I started this and I was going to stitch all the water, and then I was like, you know what, that's dumb. I can just dye a piece of fabric so I don't have to stitch all the water. Started in the center, and honestly, because you do 18 count and it shrinks, right? I don't think I like the tension. So you can see my stitches are a little tight in there. It's a little frustrating. I kind of don't want to continue stitching on the 18 count, but it's not going to be super full coverage. I don't know. I don't know. I can't do 1/1 on this. The stitches wouldn't be too good, but I feel like the 2/1 is just too thick. So I want to, yeah, you can tell, like, because I still have to finish the brown. Do you see? Let me get my face out. There we go. Here on the edge of the brown, where it's blue, where it's not, there's no room next to the brown for the new stitches. And I honestly think I'm going to scrap it. That would be the 3rd time that I would have started this pattern. These are the problems that we have as stitchers. I'm going to do a test strip here to see if I can do 1/1. Let's see what that's like. I can't do 10. It won't work. I'm going to do 1/1 and see what it looks like. But of course, because I dyed the 18 count, I might get a piece of 16 count and dye it and see what it looks like and go from there. This video is way too long. This is all fabric. I'm not going to go through that bin. This doesn't have too much in it. I have, so this I ended up I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Magic Castle. I don't think I like it anymore. I loved it immediately when I got it. It is by Cairo Marchetti. And then I don't know. I just don't love it anymore. That's what that looks like. You know, I think I'm just going to take this out. And I had actually 2 of these, and I think I put some of them back already because I thought I was going to scrap it. This is all for Magic Castle. So I think I'm just going to get rid of it with, not get rid of it, but I'm going to file the floss back this piece of something. It's Lugana. I don't know if it's 28 or something else. So I got this on a discount because it has a stain in the middle. Right here. And so she gave it to me really cheap. Because it had the stain, but I'm going to use it for full coverage, so it doesn't really matter. This is Death by Cross Stitch from Long Dog Samplers, so I guess I'll be finding something else to do it with. This is what it looks like. I can see why it's called Death by Cross Stitch, because it's intense. And I started it and apparently threw it away, because I don't know what happened to the fabric to it. I was going to use this DMC. It's 53, and it's this black and white variegated that they have. No idea what happened to the fabric. I have Bellatrix, so I took her out. This is the working copy. I pulled some of the threads for it already. This is a Bella Filipina. Still haven't decided what size fabric I'm going to do her on. Probably 18 count. Looks nice. Looks like they did her on a piece of linen, but I think I'm going to do 28 count. No, it would have to be 36 count. This is making my allergies come up. This is a 31 bag. I probably got for free. 28 count even weave. Haven't started her. Giraffe. Another Haid. I was going to get this also to my mom. Quick Stitch Hazel's World Giraffe. I have the full Hazel's World too in my binder. But I saw the Quick Stitch of the Giraffe. It's not started. I just have the even weave in there. Because I want to do that for my mom. And this one's kitted. The floss is in here. I have another Bewitching Pixie. This one's Xenia. I have her beads and some of the floss back here, but not all of the floss. No fabric for her yet. I have, oh, here's Hazel's World. I have the fabric for her, 28 count, but I don't think I'm going to do her, honestly. Probably not. I also have Midsummer Night's Fairy. Or a Midsummer Night's, yeah, Fairy from Nora Corbett. This pattern came to me pretty beat up, and it was like stapled and stuff. I have all the beads, but I haven't kitted her up. Otherwise, it looks like this. Again, I'm not a huge Nora Corbett fan. I have Autumn Quakers. This is a pattern that I just freaking love. I started doing the DMC conversion, which is what all of those are. Because I'm not going to do, I don't know, I might one day order that thread, but I'm not sure. I have Fallen Angel by Michael Hayes. Never have it kitted, but I don't have fabric for it, which I probably do in my stash. I love it. That's a huge undertaking with all the dark colors that I don't really want to deal with. So this was called Colorful Cats by Kitty and Me Designs. And the one that I got was Pharaoh. Looks like that. But there's no, I don't have the color version for some reason. The Pharaoh was mostly blue and gold. Loved that. This one calls for 28 count Lugana, 2/2, so basically 14 count. I was just going to do that because it's full coverage anyway. Oh, and then again, another Tilton Crafts because it reminded me of my girls. This is the one with all the cats. This one's called Black Kitty Forest. I have this one kitted, but no fabric. So, anyways, last couple, I have this guy. This is a beaded cross stitch, and I have all the beads in a container, and there's more. There's also a paper pattern in here that you don't really need. This is when I was super into beaded cross stitch and was trying to find some like the Magic Cottage one that Rachel Ray has. Those are super hard to find. I still to this day don't have a beaded cross stitch of that magnitude because they got really popular and they're very expensive to ship, and so AliExpress and Alibaba stopped carrying them, and you can't really find them anymore with the seed beads. This is the width of the project, and then the length is obviously double because I have it folded, but I'm really trying to trust the process right here. So you can see the grass, you can see Hedwig down here, and then the shape of the car. The car is super dark colored, so I'm really worried about it. You can still see the shape of the car here, and then the burrow at the top. I'm just really nervous. I started getting a little bit discouraged seeing the patterns, and then the beads. Like a lot of them have, let me see if I can find like tags on them that weren't coming off. It was really hard to get them off, and they just weren't consistent the way I would have liked them to be. Some of the thread is coming out. The Ada is really nice though. It's got like a sheen to it. I really like it. But it's just been, it was something else trying to get these beads in, and it's just been not the funnest. It's super fat, so it's like 9 count or something like that because of how big the beads are. There is an Etsy shop that has some that I've been saving in their bag that I made myself. The kits in my cart for, and they're still there. They're expensive, like a couple $100. This is another Heaven and Earth Everyday Witch Tarot, 5 of 1. So there's 5 ladies. There's also 5 cats. Fully kitted and haven't started yet. So again, 28 count even weave, fully kitted. Another little bag that I made myself, again with this like marbly galaxy type silver zipper with a light blue interior. Oh, this is the one that I haven't started yet that I'm dying to start. So I have several of these 28 count even weave. I think I'm gonna have enough for them. I bought 3 of them. This is the ivory color. I also bought some of the DMC satin floss to stitch it with. So I have these colors, and I'm gonna stitch each letter individually. And here are some of the other colors, and I got it's not the Krynic one, it's the DMC gold one, but it's awful. My allergies. So this is a Russian, Alforce Embroidery. They came out with this Merry Christmas one, and it's an exclamation point. I absolutely freaking love it. I thought about stitching it all in one piece, which is ideally what I wanted to do, and then using the same designs in between all of the letters, but then I'm probably gonna miss out a lot of the aspects of it because each shape, even though it's made on a square, I'll just show you the M, it's like rounded, so you can see the design. So I would be missing a lot of the aspects of that. Like I wouldn't be able to incorporate a lot of these things around the letters the way that they are if I had them in a line. So then I thought, you know what, it's not the worst thing. Make it the way that it is and hang them all individually next to each other on the wall or behind the Christmas tree. So each one, because I got 14 count, it would be 11.5 centimeters by 11.5 centimeters. So I don't have a ruler right here. So I'll put the measurements on here so you guys can see what that would equate to for that. And so if this doesn't work, if this ivory doesn't work, then I'll get a piece of 36 count Lugana in the same color, or maybe something different. I just liked, with what I had, I was trying to get something close to this. Honestly, I might find this color to be more vintagey. This, or maybe dye one a light brown. If I switch it to the 18 count, because then it's only 9 by 9, and I feel like then it would be more sustainable. 9 centimeters. I don't know, it's quite small. 11.5 is what the 14 count would be, which is what the 28 count is. So anyway, that was my idea. Was to hang it because I freaking love these letters. And then this stitched in the satin flosses is going to be freaking beautiful. Anyway, guys. Oh, I'm not done. This video is so long. This video is too long. So this is going to be reintroducing myself. And stash that I will never get to. I don't know what I should have called this video. Thousands of dollars, was it worth it video? How much is your stash worth? If you're still here at this point. Okay. This is the other Harry Potter bag. This was the very first one. This is the Mandrake's one when they're in herbology. This is a pattern by Fox and Teacup Designed. I got the She Who Must Not Be Named version, and it looks like this. It is the book covers version. I don't know if she still does this or not. Oh, it's on a Q-snap still. This is my favorite Q-snap size. It's like, I don't know what size it is, but it's my favorite. And this is what I have. Isn't it lovely? This is my freaking favorite cross stitch piece of all time. I just love stitching on it. Stitching 2/2 on 28 count even weave is amazing. I just freaking love it. It is my favorite way to stitch. If I could stitch everything this way, I would. Doesn't always work out. This is like half-ish maybe. So it's going to be double this lengthwise. So it's quite large. Larger than I would have wanted a piece to be. But it's Harry Potter. I have to go all out. Harry Potter just means something different to me because I grew up with the books. I stood in line on release day, and it just means something different. I freaking love it. Up close, it doesn't look as great. I feel like some of the color scheme up here, like with the pink and the gray, could have had some manual change in it that we could have done differently had I been the one stitching it or making it, but I'm not a designer. And then I'm using my chocolate frog needle minder from Black Needle Society, and I just love this piece dearly. Oh, here's those fat quarter things. Look at how freaking big these suckers are. Like, isn't that so freaking huge compared to, like, why does it need to be that big? Like, why? It's just freaking ginormous, and it just takes up so much space. So these are Halloween ones. I'm pretty sure Amy gave them to me. And then these also, I think these came in one of the Black Needle boxes. I don't freaking know. Big ass needle floss minder. What are they called? Floss drops. They're cute. Don't get me wrong. And these are all like Harry Potter inspired, which is why I put them in here. There's only a couple. So I have Scalagrow, Phoenix Tears. Are you guys going to be backwards? I think you're backwards. Mandrake Restorative Drought. Flu Powder. And Polyjuice Potion. So anyway, there's that. Beautiful colors. I'm using CXC for this actually, and I love CXC, and I'm stitching this on the paper pattern. So I like them apples. Yeah, have not touched this in a while. There's her. Again, another little doodad that I made myself. This is, oh, another favorite piece. Joan Elliott, Winter Geisha. Freaking love Joan Elliott. And the color choices, I just love stitching blues. All the blues, I just absolutely love stitching. They come out so beautifully. This is on a piece of Be Stitch Me. April Showers, 32 count Lugana. So I'm stitching this 2/2. April Showers, I believe, was a fabric of the month piece, and this is what I have. This is 1 page, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I just started a little bit of the next page, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I have. And it's just, this was the first time that I realized that I needed to switch over to stitching on Lugana and Joblin all the time, because it made the biggest difference in how my stitches laid for me versus fighting the Aida. Plus, Aida tears up your floss a lot if it's not already like dyed. And it just, yeah, some of my Halloween minders, I can't remember, is this a Lindy Stitches or no, I can't remember who. And then a Polyjuice, I made this one. It was a Polyjuice Potion pin that I got. It came with a couple of others, and then I don't know, they all got lost. That's that. But anyway, that's that. Freaking lovely, gorgeous. I just love Joan Elliott. Using a mini Q snap. Don't know why, just am. But I mean, it's enough surface area because she's full coverage all on the interior. So there's, oh yeah. 1 whole page is done here, and my second page is out right here. So there's that lovely, lovely piece. I thought I had this actually out in my active whip bin out there, because I leave projects out there hoping to do them and then just don't get to them. Jack full coverage. I don't have a picture of this guy. Oh yeah, I do. This is Creatively Crafting. My understanding is she got permission from Mandy Manzano, because she does credit Mandy Manzano on these. And I did start this. This is 18 count Aida. And I've gotten that whole entire top corner done. It looks very lovely. I just have not finished it. I have this on my tablet. So I just have the fabric here with the picture, and then I have this Ink Circles Alto. So stitching these for my sister. I'm almost done with it. So I've stitched her these 2. She already has it, and then I'm stitching this one, and I think I have the frame for it somewhere here already. I'm almost done. I really just need to finish it. That's what it looks like. I still have like the outer loops to do. This, honestly, it would take like a couple of minutes if I did it. I have this guy. I'm not going to get this out to show you guys, just so we can finish the last of it. I started down here, and I have a little bit of this, and I was just getting frustrated with how dark it was, and I feel like the colors weren't, like this was black and has black in it, and I was getting really frustrated with it. I know it's a Haid. I need to trust the process. This is Heaven's Window, artwork by Andy Russell. I absolutely love Andy Russell. This just totally reminds me of Arizona. And growing up, I didn't make this bag. I ordered it off of Etsy again when I thought that I wanted the vinyl situation. Another bag that I made myself. Pandemic. I got Pandemic when Pandemic was free. I'm stitching this with this red variegated DMC number 115. Stitching this on a piece of Ice Queen Be Stitch Me Joblin 32 count. I'll take this guy out. I knew I had another one somewhere. This bitch is heavy. It's like she's loaded. This is a full yard that I ordered. Half a yard, my bad. I have several pages done on this. Been thinking about getting this back out. That's how much I have done. So I've reached 2 corners. The 2 top corners are finished. And then just going down. So I have quite a lot of space. I never start in the middle of my fabric. I just always start to the edge, which is why I needed to sew on this piece. I should have just started in the middle so that I didn't have to do that. Because I don't know if this is going to leave enough for framing, which is not something I was concerned about at the time, but yeah. Not really a big sampler person, but I've really been liking stitching some of these for some reason. The linen and threads one that we did, the stitch along that I finished, I can't remember what it was called, but I loved stitching that one. Oh my gosh, I was thinking about this piece the other day. Kathy Barrick, I made this one. I hate it. Oh, Carriage House Samplings, which there's a whole like family situation with that. So Kathy Barrick is related to them or something like that. Looks like this. I might be wrong. Something like that. What did I write? I don't know. Something about something. Stitching this on 32 count Lugana in Shadow by Stitch Me. And this is one of my favorite pieces too. Looks like this. So I started in the middle. This is the middle piece. So there's going to be one piece on this side and one more piece on this side, and I should have enough room for it. The piece was like barely going to be big enough, but I could not help it. Let me fold this the right way so that you guys can actually see the stitches on here, because I freaking love working on this piece. It's been one of my favorites. I just love stitching on Lugana and Joblin, and I'm using CXC for pretty much the whole thing. I think I did a few conversions to the colors that I had. I'm not sure, but it's still coming out quite nice and true to color of what they have on here. And then I got tired of working on the widgets because it was just taking so long, so I moved down here to the train and almost finished that box. And it's just looks, I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces. I'm actually going to take this out because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And then I have Winchester Mansion. This is what it originally looked like. So this is from Debbie Patrick. I have a whole bunch of Debbie Patrick designs. This is stitched on 18 count Ada, just called Blue, from Stitch Me. This is all that I have. This was another project that I started really early and decided to put it aside because I felt like I didn't have enough experience stitching it, because it uses a lot of blends, and it's just kind of intense. It's basic stitches, but it's just super intense. And then Debbie Patrick's patterns are no, this one's computerized, but the back stitching is hand drawn, and so it's a lot. It's really intense and it's a lot. So the original pattern is in here because I'm going to need to go back and make a second copy for the back stitching, because I'm drawing over obviously the others, and I'm not going to be able to see the back stitching after I crossed off the patterns. I don't get confused. No idea what this is, but there's a Q-snap in here. This is done on Fall 16 count Ada from Stitch Me. Don't know what this is. Oh. Leela Studio Halloween Quaker, I think is what it's called. Oy. This is another one that just has really taken forever to stitch. On this big giant freaking Q-snap. I don't know why. I'm just going to take it off. Might even take this Q-snap out. this is what I have done. So like I'm almost done. Like I have this bottom corner and then this top part's done, and it's finishing up this motif up here, but it's gonna stop right there. This is a big color conversion. I'm not stitching this on with the called for thread for the most part. Like this is a hand dyed thread that I dyed with Mystical Diamond Art. I also think there's a couple of others. I can't remember. This one too. This is a different blue that I dyed with Mystical Diamond Art. So like I just did conversions as best as I could. So I've got 2 corners done, and I would say I'm about 2/3 done with this, and I really want to finish this. It's just, I don't know why it's taking so long. Like, I remember seeing Michelle Bendy doing this, and I was thinking, like, why is it taking this woman so long to stitch this pattern? And, like, now I know why. Like, it just, so I'm taking this Q snap out. It's an intense stitch. I don't know why. Like, I can't figure out why it's that way. It just is. It kind of blows my mind a little bit. But this is also something that I'd really like to finish. Oh, Artisy, Dreams of a Wolf Maiden. Absolutely love this. So this is by Gloria West. I did a bunch of Gloria West diamond paintings back when I was running Mystical Diamond Art. They came out amazing. This is how far I've gotten. I absolutely love freaking stitching this too. I'm doing this on 18 count Aida, 2/2. See, when Aida's undyed, you can definitely do 2/2. But see this line that I'm getting? That's because, oh wow, I don't know why. Is it because the Aida's folded? No, there's not even any folded Aida there. Because I'm stitching on the diagonal, so I don't know why there's a line there. Or maybe I stitched that down. That's the first time I've had a line. You can see it right here. But it almost feels like a fold. I don't know. That's freaking weird. So I'm doing diagonal, but I might not have been doing diagonal by the time I got there. Now that I know that, I really need to make sure that I keep it on the diagonal. I wonder if it'd be better if I rolled the patterns, but then I feel like they're gonna get smashed anyway. So there's that. Dreams of a Wolf Maiden. I absolutely love a lot of the like Native American stitching type stuff. And then the last thing that I have in here anyway, I don't know what this is. Grand Library. Amy Stewart, Heaven and Earth Designs. This will probably never be done in my lifetime. This needs a project bag. Did I start this is the question. I did. 28 count easy grid. And did I mark the top? Well, I didn't have to because I left the tag on it. That's what I have. That's it. When I saw this, I knew I had to get it because I love Amy Stewart and I love Heaven and Earth Designs. This is when I started using the floss tags. Just so much easier. And then if you keep them all here, they never come undone. You can still pull what you need to pull from here. These are like wire, I don't know, keychains, ropes. I don't know what these are called. I think I threw the packaging away. I have to look in my Amazon, but yeah. That's what I have stored in my like to-do. I have 2 bins out there still filled with cross stitch. So I have a big woven like basket thing out there, and I have a square ottoman, a like 11 by 11 ottoman, also filled with other projects. I have tarot over there, and I have like a little pile of projects sitting in my rocking chair in the living room also. I was hoping this video wouldn't take me so long because I wanted to watch an episode of The Perfect Couple and stitch. And I think I still am, even though it's 10 o'clock at night. I think I'm still going to do that because I didn't do anything this week at all. And it's already Friday. I have not done anything at all. And I really want to. So yeah, I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to end this video. And hopefully you guys stayed here through the end. If you did, I would like it if you commented on this video who your favorite designer is. I can't pick just one because I'm so like eclectic in taste, but if I had to stick with a theme, not a theme, I don't know, I can't. I really like Joan Elliott. I really like Heaven and Earth, which you guys have noticed I have a ton of Heaven and Earth designs. I really like Carriage House samplings, Cottage Garden samplings, some of my favorites. I can't pick. So anyway, I have these two pieces of linen that I need to get rid of that I don't want. I have this small cut. I don't know what this is. Bigger, a little bigger than an 8x10. It's just this like yellowy type. I don't know the count, but it's pretty small. And then I have this 32 count Pearl Gray Belfast. This says 13x18. I got this at the West Cross Stitch shop in Tucson. And it's still in the packaging. Haven't touched either one of these. I'm pretty sure I got both of these there. So tell me who your favorite cross stitch designer is. If you don't have just one, tell me your top 3. I don't know. And I will enter you guys into a drawing to win these 2 fabrics. I would prefer it if you were in the United States so that I could afford shipping and handling. And then I'll put you guys into a drawing at the end. Anybody else have a ridiculous amount of needle minders? I put them in this little thing and they don't even fit. Like, they all stick to each other. And I didn't realize that I even had all of these. I kept thinking, like, I know I have more. I have a lot of, like, Harry Potter ones with my name on it. I got this cool Monopoly one. Bunch of Harry Potter stuff. Just crafty bitch. That's one of my favorites. I think that was, like, a Hobby Lobby one that I got. I think Amy got this one that said fuck on it. Old school library card, one of my favorites. I have a Dalek in here. Trying to flip the page and it's not letting me flip. I have, this is one that I made. I Love You 3000, Tony Stark. Yeah, some of the things down here. Yeah, some of these are from Amy Sprinklestein. Can't even see it. Stitching is not a hobby, it's a way of life. Oh, okay, he could just fly off. I have a Ravenclaw one in here, lots of cats. I have a Howler, again with my name on it, another cat. Oh, I have this handmade bobbin. This is also from Amy Sprinklestein. Here, it's like a polymer clay bobbin. I'm pretty sure Amy got me that one too. Oh, look at, I have some more of those fat quarter needle minders. Anyways. Oh, John James needles. Those are my favorite. Size 24. No, these are not the ones. These are the chenille. I like the tapestry ones. But anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and sorry that this is so long. I was like hoping for like a 30-minute video, and then I just got too into it and I talked way too much. And here we are. So hopefully you enjoyed. Comment your favorite designer. I'll put you guys into the drawing, and I'll see you guys next time.